The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hey, Bill Nye, the science guy here. Whenever I am listening to the radio, especially Tech Talk Radio, it's just such a party.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Slick.
And I'm Justin Lemmy.
It was funny when we started up, Justin looked at Slick and said, "Who's this guy?"
It's been a long time.
Sean is out today, and Sean told us, he said, "Oh, I could go ahead and dial in from the road."
Dude, he's in a place with no cell phone coverage. He's me like,
Didn't we try that once before? And it was like
Yeah, it
5
didn't work.
minutes of him running away from a bear.
It's something like that. I thought that was his toddler, but maybe it was a bear. I don't know.
I'll
Maybe,
just say it was a bear. For those of you who don't know, we are a show that talks about computers.
Technology.
And the internet.
And we've got a lot to talk about last week.
But we have fun with it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not super serious geeks. I mean, Slick might be, but I mean, I'm just,
Yeah, Slick is
I'm just
kind
here
of,
for the laughs.
Slick is kind of serious.
Pseudo.
All right. Listener email, this one from Mario. And it's based on last...
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, it's a Mario. Says, "Hello. I just wanted to thank your Tech Talk Radio program for making me laugh more and longer than usual, even to the point of having tears. Within a period of 30 minutes during my listening of its broadcast this past Saturday, mainly during its Y-Files discussion."
Ooh, that one.
Yeah, I like that. "Thank you for receiving this message, and may the rest of your life be great." I appreciate that, Mario. We do. And I'm thinking, what was it that we were talking about the Y-Files?
Well, I think it was Armageddon or the Armageddon AI Armageddon. I think
Armageddon. Yeah, is it happening? Slick, you're working with. Are you working with AI at all in your job?
No, because I'm involved with some government stuff. So,
Right.
So you're deep involved in AI. Okay, got it. Stuff you can't talk about.
Or deny.
Yeah.
You wonder.
Are we actually talking to the real Slick?
It could be Sean's AI for all we
Yeah.
know.
Could be maybe.
Now, for all we all have this idea though that government on all levels, municipal, the state, federal, are using AI. And a lot of people think they're using it for means to track us and fool us and things. That's really
They are.
I don't think so though.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think they are using AI for that reason. Do you really think
Do
that?
you live under a rock, Andy? Of course they are.
What? But why?
Did you ever hear about AT&T, Andy?
Yeah.
Remember when they had the closet?
The closet, the AT&T closet.
I don't remember if it was New York or Chicago or where it was, but I think it was NSA or CIA or FBI. Somebody had access to the network through it, like a closet that was outed, and then the guy almost went to jail or prison for letting people know about the tech.
He found a loophole.
Yeah.
But in this loophole, he discovered that big tech was actually watching people.
Yeah, with permission of some of the companies.
Oh, well, we have seen problems. We have seen problems with that. I mean, there's been problems recently with some tech companies have been, focusing, marketing at children and then grabbing information of what these kids, what time they get online, how long they're online, where are they going. And that's been a major no-no. And so, I don't know, tech and AI, I guess together, yeah, that's a scary thing. How is it being used, though? Is it being used just to market to us parents?
Well, it's just a lot more than just that. I mean, honestly.
After we talked about it, last week on the show, was James Cameron came out and did a discussion about, this is what I was trying to tell people about Terminator. That is basically what Terminator with Skynet was all about, right? It was
Except
about
for time travel, but yeah.
Yeah, except the time travel stuff. The technology becoming self-learning. And that guy,
it's already self-learning.
The guy Dyson, the character in the movie, had created this, and it got out of hand. And
Yeah, exactly.
When the kid went back in time to show him his misgivings with the stuff he did that was wrong.
This is what's, yeah.
That's when he decided to help out.
Yeah, because he realized
AI is it bettering itself, though. You're saying learning more. Learning is one thing, but then deciding to make modifications to itself on its own to become Like,
Well,
like Justin was saying, getting to the point of being sentient. That, to me, is the scary part.
But
So-
couldn't that be used though in this discussion though? I'm thinking, couldn't that be used for good? I mean, we're always thinking about the negative aspects, which okay, I guess probably that's good to think about. But imagine an AI that's coding, right? And I've been doing some coding over the last few weeks, where I'm trying to find code errors. I'm trying to find where we could imagine if it could learn code to the point where it could come up with a better way to write that code.
Well, I can tell you
And
right
then
now, it
apply
already
that.
does that. It already does that. I mean,
Right.
I've used ChatGPT in my job where I'm learning Python, I'm learning C++, and I've asked it questions. I'm like, hey, I've even given it a prompt where I'm like, I want you to write me a program to, let's say, for instance, an example, onboard a new employee.
There you go.
Want you to use a PowerShell script to connect to Azure to create a user account based on a prompt. I want you to prompt me what groups I want it to be added to, what permissions I want it to be in, and I want you to create a password, and I want you to create an email address. I want you to assign a license for Office 365. And it's like, okay. And it does it within 5 seconds. I'm like, oh my God. So I took its script that it gave me and I pasted it into PowerShell. And sure enough, I had a brand new user created like that. And it took it less than 5 seconds to create that code. And this is the problem, is that it's people who are programmers who get paid to program. 5 years ago, you would ask somebody, what's the best job in technology to get right now? They would say to become a computer programmer.
Yeah.
Because software programming is where it's at. Well, they took it too far. Some of these people who are software programmers created AI, and they've basically written themselves out of a job.
Yeah. That's kind of,
I've seen that in the news a lot lately.
I always felt that way, like when I went to my grocery store. There's things we do. You go to the grocery store, and there's a clerk there that says, "Why don't you use self-checkout?"
I hate that.
I go, "You don't pay me enough."
Well, dude, you know what I hate about that is I go to the only grocery store that's close to us is Walmart. So we go to the Walmart grocery and we have to use self-checkout. And every single time as I'm walking out with my receipt in hand, the guy at the door is like, "Can I see your receipt?" I'm like, "No."
There are people who are so against that now.
And he's like, "Well, I need to see your receipt, sir." And I turn around every single time and I tell him, "You can either trust me to do the self-checkout, or you can put people back in the cashier line and do it for me.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see my receipt. Bye." And I walk out.
Yeah.
I respect your commitment to that. I really do. I do.
It's complete BS.
Yeah. It's upsetting so many people. Nextdoor. I don't know if you guys are on Nextdoor, which
Oh
is
God, it's a cesspool.
right. But people who have that experience about going to whether it be Walmart or any other store and having to show the receipt are like inflamed. They're like, "I don't want to show my receipt." That's something you do at Costco or Sam's because it's a membership store.
Well,
you know?
yeah, and they can actually ban you. Costco or Sam's can actually ban you if you don't show your receipt because it is a private membership store. But Walmart cannot.
Yeah. And again, that's the thing. People tell you, "Oh, why don't you use the self-checkout?" Even at Circle K the other day, for God's sake. I'm holding, what am I holding? A bag of Chester's buttery puffs and a Slim Jim. And the guy says, "You could use the self-checkout." I'm like, I don't need to use the self-checkout. I can go to the counter, and I get to the counter, and I have a nice exchange with a very nice employee that made me smile. I'm not going to get that from entering the wrong numbers.
What world do you live in? Because I have never gotten a nice employee at Walmart.
No, Circle K. This was
Circle K. Yeah, okay. Circle K might be different. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it's ludicrous. But you think about it, that people have been pushing they're forced to. I mean, they're forced.
Well,
to.
their job. It's not their choice.
Yeah, their boss is saying, "Make sure you get people going through the self-checkouts," but they're basically pushing their jobs to basically them doing it themselves.
Just wait until there's like an AI robot at the door of Walmart that's like, "Let me see your receipt, please." I'm gonna turn around and be like, "I'm gonna unplug you." Like,
or reprogram it, one of the two. Get an AI script for that.
You're going to get Eric, go around the back, unplug it.
would totally do that too.
Upload this. Yeah.
But you know what? They could always do it. They could always do it in hologram AI form, with a hologram of a kindly gentleman that has retired and decided to come to back to Walmart with the blue thing, and a nice little visor, and nobody would talk bad to it.
Hologram Tupac.
I'm going to say, Eric, let's be entertaining about this. Give me max headroom.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I might even spend more money just to go see him. How you doing, Max?
Yeah. I'm doing it. Great.
Wasn't that Matt? That was Matt Frewer. Actually interviewed that guy once, and he was hilarious. But yeah, that was funny. All right, so we talked about AI last week, and then we got another text, and we mentioned it. You can text us. People think I can't text. Well, you can text us during the show. We'd have to hold it for a week, but go ahead and feel free to text us. If I can text you back a resolving situation, which I did in this case. Printers. Have any of you tried to hook up a wireless printer?
Yes.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you, Slick?
It can be a little tricky. It just depends on the manufacturer and the model. Mm-hmm. Some go smooth. Others, I'm like, what am I, what I got to push what? Am I missing a code? What's going on here?
Yeah, they can be a little bit tricky. I have found, honestly, one of the easiest ones to hook up for wireless has been the Epson. I really like Epson when it comes to the wireless printer. HP will work for a while, and then I'll have to reconnect it and reset it and redo it, and sometimes that can be a pain. All of them have apps that you can install on your computer as an app.
I hate those. They're just tracking. They're just tracking.
Yeah, they're just tracking what you're printing. Yeah, but they all have apps. Well, we got a question from Cecilia, who wanted to know, how do you find out what your IP number is on your printer? Trying to hook it up wirelessly, because pretty much anything that is wired wireless has an IP number, or is going to be issued one.
The easiest way to do this is just to approach the printer and yell at it. What is your IP address?
No, we're not there yet.
Most printer people don't know this. Most printers are voice activated.
We're not there yet, Justin. I know you got AI still on your mind, but we'll get there. Don't worry.
No,
about
don't
it.
do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. You take it out the box, plug it in, and they'll go, I got it.
Somebody send me a video of their other half yelling at their printer, please. I want to put that say Justin said so. Now, actually, with an app, you should be able to go into your settings. But on most printers these days, you do get a little 1.5 inch, little touch screen that you could go in, and you should be able to either look at the configuration, whether it be wired Wi-Fi, or even print out your configuration. And when you print out your configuration, if it's connected and set up, it will show you what the IP number is, so you can connect to that printer. But again, it can all be done with that. In that case, we were able to tell her, all right, just go to your LCD screen, push this button, push that button, and she was able to get that info she needed. So that was good. But if you ever a question like that, even if it's technical, like I said, if we can answer you right away, we will, and then we may hold it for the show too. But 520-777-9580 is our telephone number. Again, you can text us, and we will respond and get back to you.
Andy had a good idea about printing out the specification sheet. As soon as you get the printer plugged in and turned on, go ahead and do that and hang on to that sheet. It's always good to have that information handy.
Exactly. Everybody should have a file. Honestly, I think we tend to just keep everything on the computer. If you have a little file folder or something like that, put your Windows license in there. Put all the information on your licenses. If you're smart and you get one pass, if you get the password manager, keep that put away with your that's your special key that you may need to know at some point. Somebody told me.
Whoa! Hold on.
What's that?
I have to interrupt there. You're saying to put your master key or your master password into a folder on your desktop?
No. I'm talking about
whatever.
I'm talking about a file folder in a file cabinet that's put away.
Oh, okay. I was about to say no, absolutely not. No,
you don't want to do that. Keep that password to yourself, because a lot of people don't save that, and again, they save it on their PC somewhere. But if they lose their PC, they lose access to all of that info, and that's just not good. but to have that, and then like Slick said, your serial numbers, whether it be if you've built it yourself or your computer itself, have those put away somewhere, because you never know when you're going to need that. And I don't know. I got to say, I'm thankful for you guys introducing me to OnePass. I'm using it even
You're
more
welcome.
now. I'm using it more now. I'm finding I can even have passwords for Gloria that I can go ahead and put in there. And then if I need it, if she says, "Hey, I can't remember that," oh, I got it, and I can log in and check it out myself.
Yep, absolutely. One Password, the number one password.com is the website, and I use it. I pay for it. It's great. It's a great password manager. I love it because it can generate passwords as well. So you're on a new website, you're not quite sure what you want to use, but you want to have a secure password. You can just generate a one-off password just for that particular website and save it into your vault. So that way, anytime you go to that website, it'll automatically show up and say, "Hey, we have this stored. Do you want to log in to your one password? And then do you want to use it?"
Yeah.
So that's great.
Hey, Justin, since you pay for it, what kind of support do you get with the paid membership?
Honestly, I've never had to use the support. It's worked flawlessly since I've got it. I'm assuming they've got email and chat support. I'm assuming, but yeah, I've never had to use it. It just works.
They've got a lot of info online, Slick, too. So if you sign up for it, and again, it travels through all your devices. You've got that main master password that you never have to re-enter, but you have another password. And, there's been a big question about that recently, too, is what's the best way to have a password? Is it a series of words that are different? With in between, you got a dash and then another word and a dash and another word. Or is it uppercase, lowercase, symbol, number? What is the best way? And it's funny because some people are saying now that having the different words would actually be a little more difficult to crack.
I don't know. I actually just looked it up on their website. So if it says, according to their website, if you have any trouble whatsoever with one password, file a help desk ticket, and a representative will fly out to you and sit on your lap and show you how to use your computer.
You're pulling our leg.
Yeah,
He got the premium support. Wow.
Oh yeah,
That's the ultra premium. Somebody could offer that. They'd be very happy with that. That would be pretty good. All right. So we talked a little bit about that. We got those.
I do have another wheel of tech if we want to go that route, because
Okay.
I've just created one in the background here as we're talking. So
All right.
I've got some different options we can talk about.
All right. We'll tell you what. Why don't we take a quick break, come back. We will spin the wheel of tech and come up with some stuff. We do have some stuff we want to talk about. Last week on the show, we talked about Justin, what happened to him when he bought a laptop from Costco, and when you got it,
Yeah.
it looked like it had gone through a demolition derby, Slick.
Oh, I
Yep.
want to hear this story.
Yeah, but we
yeah.
never talked about what you ended up getting. So we
Yeah.
want to talk about what you got and why you're pretty blown away by the performance on that laptop.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Slick.
And I'm Justin. Let me find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's Tim Havelock, aka Darkness429. You can find me over at facebook.com/Darkness429, and you're listening to Tech Talk Radio.
Before the break, we talked about I have one of those wheels, the wheel of tech.
All right.
That we introduced last week, and I've got some options that we can talk about. I'll discuss them a little bit here. We've got Bitcoin, we've got PlayStation, Xbox, we've got a funny tech story, AI, Kevin Mitnick,
Mitnick, yeah.
cell phones, browsers, electric vehicles, Barbenheimer, SAG-AFTRA. What is it? Is it AFTRA? Is SAG-AFTRA?
AFTRA.
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 Now, do you know what that
AFTRA.
means, Slick?
Yeah, American. Well, let's see, Arts Federation Radio Television. I forget what the S stands for.
No, it's American Film and Television
Film.
Radio
No.
Association.
American Federation of Radio Television Artists.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
radio. Okay, so it is AFTRA.
Or is it American
Af-
Federation of Television Radio Artists.
Okay, make up your dang mind.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Then we also got Stitcher, and then Justin's PC. So those are the choices we have. So should I go ahead and spin it?
Let's give it a spin and see where it lands.
Okay, I'm giving it a spin right now, and we are going to talk about Barbenheimer.
Oh no! All right, so this past couple of weeks ago, Barbie the movie was released, and Oppenheimer was released on the same day. And
and people say that they did this on purpose because it was something to do with Christopher Nolan kind of having a falling out with Warner Brothers Studio, who made Barbie, and that they released Barbie on the same day as Oppenheimer. But then people were like, hey, what if we go see both movies on the same day? Because they're complete opposite of each other. I mean, one is talking about Barbie, and the other is talking about the guy that invented the nuclear bomb.
Right.
But it's become a giant viral social media thing, and people are actually doing it and saying they love it.
Even Cillian Murphy who plays Oppenheimer in the movie said he would like to play a Ken in the Barbie 2 because more than likely,
I can't imagine him as playing Ken. He's such a serious actor.
Yeah, more than likely, there's going to be a sequel to Barbie, moreover than Oppenheimer, because people have some people are taking it a little difficult, saying there's messages in the film and there's a political undertone on it.
Well, isn't there a political undertone on everything nowadays?
Well, and I'll be honest with you. I heard a talk show host, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not judging, but I heard the talk show host talking about it, and he was he's a little crotchety, right? And he was talking about how the movie had this messages, and he wasn't going to take his kids to see this movie because of this Barbie movie. Instead, he was going to take him to see Oppenheimer. And I'm thinking, wait a minute.
That's so much better.
Did he think this through before he said?
I know. Wait a minute. So both movies may have had these tones to them. Let's talk about this though. When it comes to movies, all right. Now I know some of our listeners, you may not have been to the theater in a while. We got a great theater here in town that shows movies, and they're showing Oppenheimer, they're showing Barbie, they're showing Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible. But let's face it, Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones, huge movies. And what happened to them? Where'd they go? Flash, which I loved, it was a huge movie. What happened to them? People are saying that movies just don't have that same clout that they had 10 years ago.
Well, that is definitely true because of all the streaming industry now. I mean, everybody just wants to stream them at home. But not only that, I've heard from so many people that the reason they haven't seen Oppenheimer is because they literally can't. And let me explain. Oppenheimer was shot with 70 millimeter IMAX, and it's made national news. It's a big thing about the film itself. Physically weighing 600 pounds and about 11 miles long. And people had to redo their theater broadcast booths to just be able to store the film.
I think there's 20 theaters.
30.
Right?
30.
30?
30.
Okay.
There's only 30 theaters in North America, in the world, that can support 70 millimeter IMAX.
Wow.
None of those are in Colorado. Now, I mean, there's one in Phoenix, I think. I think it's in Tempe. There's like 10 in California.
The Loft Cinema in Tucson.
Does that support 70 millimeters?
Yes. Yeah,
so maybe it was Tucson. I thought it was in Tempe. Okay. So it could have been Tucson. But yeah, there's not a lot of places that you can go see the way that Christopher Nolan designed the movie to be, and that is in 70 millimeter IMAX.
Right.
And so people are like, well, I'm just not going to go see it. I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming.
Do you think that what is happening to the industry right now? I mean, let's face it, actors and actresses are clamoring right now. That's why they're on a walkout.
They're striking.
They're saying, hey, come on, streaming rights, we need to get paid. I have seen the paychecks for people that have worked in film that have had roles that you see them in the background, or maybe they even have a couple of lines. The money they get is nothing. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. And the companies like Disney and Paramount and
Warner
Netflix,
Brothers
and HBO, Warner Brothers, they're making pretty good money, and the CEOs of these companies are making pretty good money. But in the same breath, they're making that money because they're able to sell it to or put it on their streaming service, which is making a ton of money. But yet the actors aren't really seeing any of that residual.
They're not receiving the residuals, and that is a major selling point of this whole strike by the SAG-AFTRA. AFTRA? Yeah. Well, anyway,
AFTRA.
That's the whole main point of it. Not only just that, but also AI. I mean, they're also talking about AI, and that's a whole nother topic. But really, when it comes to Hollywood, they're talking about how some companies, these production companies, Warner Brothers or whatever it is. I'm not saying Warner Brothers is actually doing this, but the companies like production companies, they are getting actors to come in, and they're paying them the very base minimum, which is like $100 a day or something like that, to come in and just do facial expressions and facial movements, and they're capturing them on AI, and then they're saying they're basically going to keep them in perpetuity to use their likeness whenever they want, and they don't have to pay them for
them.
They
don't have to pay them again.
Yeah.
No, that's the whole bit. And it's unfortunate, and that's why they needed to step up, and that's why they need to have some kind of regulation on the industry. The same thing goes with the radio industry. For those that know, I've worked for a major, huge company that provided what we call voice work around the globe, because I did in other countries as well for the Voice of America. And here's the thing: is my voice is out there, it's captured somewhere. There is nothing for me to say. You guys can't reuse it. And we have seen the technology. It's super easy with voice because you can eliminate that uncanny valley to just take my voice and put it out there. And okay, now this guy's a DJ doing this format because they have the voice print. They can go ahead and have it say whatever it wants.
Yeah, they can train an AI to sound just like you based on what you've already said. And so, like, even me talking right now, there could literally be an AI out there waiting for me to talk or you to talk or Slick to talk, whatever, and be able to train that AI to sound like us, and then come out, and it will just, all of a sudden, I might be listening to the radio one day, and I'm like, hey, wait a second, that's my voice on the...
Oh, look at that. AI just shut you down for a second. That was trippy. I think as Justin was talking, it shut him down.
Yeah, that's what you get for talking bad about AI.
Okay,
coming after you.
That is weird. Why would it happen at that point? That was weird. You suddenly froze, disappeared, and you were gone.
Yep, I made the AI mad.
Told you. They're watching. They're listening.
Yeah, no, but... now I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Well, you were talking about the fact that, they could use your voice right at that very moment and be able to do it. Voice AI is easier, I will say, is easier to work.
Well, obviously voice is easier because you don't have to, you're just working on audio, but like with video, you got to do that too. But what was his name? I just heard about it today. The Rock. Mm-hmm. He donated a 7-figure donation to the SAG-AFTRA foundation, I guess, fund, whatever, to fund all the actors and actresses that aren't like super big millionaires that can just afford to be on strike for, forever.
Yeah.
He basically donated a 7-figure sum. They didn't say exactly how much it was, but this is all of it's going to go to actors and actresses who can't, basically make their bills during this strike, because that's what the studios are hoping for. They're hoping for all these actors and actresses that really can't afford this to be like, okay, fine, we give in. We'll fine, whatever. Just put us back to work. Yeah. And that's what needs to happen is more of these, super billionaires, super millionaires like Tom Cruise and Ryan Reynolds and other people like The Rock. They need to be donating some of their share of this. If they want to see Hollywood continue, they need to donate some of this money to support the cause.
We have to remember, they're only a minuscule percentage of working actors and actresses in the business that are making that kind of money. There are actors and actresses that honestly they'll sleep in the car then go to their audition and hopefully get a gig, and
they're working as a waiter or waitress or whatever.
Yeah, it might be a paycheck for a month. So I've had other people.
Could this be a way for some of the companies to shed some people? Since you were going in that direction about your thought, Justin, I was just thinking, I wonder if this is a way for them to kind of clean house a little bit.
Well, I don't know if I would call it clean house. I mean, that's kind of a very rude way to say it. I mean, I know I'm not putting that on you, but like, no, I don't know. I think that the studios are just looking at this going, hey, we can make even more money and not have to pay these people. So let's just go this route. And they're coming across as, they're sticking to the point of, oh, don't worry about AI. No, we're not going to do that. No. And they actually are. That's what this is all about, is it's about AI in the future. And that's what these actors and actresses want, is protections against AI.
I thought it was kind of crazy this past week with the San Diego Comic-Con happening, because every year Comic-Con has been, we're going to introduce this film. We're going to introduce these actors that are a part of this cast. Under the AFTRA SAG-AFTRA rules, they cannot promote a project that they're involved in. So actors and actresses can't suddenly be promoting something that they've been involved in. So Comic-Con this year was a lot of comic material, a lot of, when it comes to artwork, the whole bit.
It's actually been going that way for years now. I mean, I was a friend of mine, a Navy buddy of mine, who just actually posted on Facebook, is like, hey, does anybody know how to get tickets to Comic-Con and, what the procedure is. And I told him, I said, honestly, and this is just me talking. I was just like, look, Comic-Con's been dying for years. I mean, it's going back to its roots, and that's a great thing if you're a comic book fan.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting like a Hollywood spectacle with, massive movie studios and, huge booths with actors and actresses showing up and 24/7 live TV coverage of every aspect of Comic-Con, you're not going to get that anymore, because Hollywood is pulling out of Comic-Con. They're not doing this anymore, and it's not just because of the strike. It's been happening for years. But I told him, I said, seriously though, your chances of getting tickets to Comic-Con are very slim. You still need to be logged in at the stroke of midnight, ready to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Because and then don't ever, if somebody says, oh, I got tickets for Comic-Con for sale. No, it's not. It's not true, because they only allow the original purchaser to enter Comic-Con with their ID. So you can't resell tickets. So Comic-Con is real. Like you said, it's going back to its roots. It's going back to comics.
Yeah.
And I like that.
You should tell your friend to come out here to Tucson, because the Tucson Comic-Con, which happens, I believe it's the September, Slick?
I think it's September, maybe sometime around September 4.
And that really is focused along cosplay as well as art, the comic books, the artwork, the great artists that have done comic books and comic art for a long time. So Tucson Comic-Con would be perfect to tell your friend to come out to. And I think they have some pretty good guests lined up. And again, it's not that Hollywood crowd, although they've done, movie stuff and had classic movie stars that have been in classic movies out talking about it. But I think that would be kind of a cool thing to see.
Yeah, September 1, 2, and 3. That's
September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. All right.
All right. Now it's time to spin the wheel one more time before we take another break.
Yeah, we got to spin it, and then let's see what we're going to be talking about.
We're going to spin it. We're going to go, Justin's PC.
Aha. We'll be talking about that when we come back. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Slick.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. You can find us on the X, what used to be called Twitter, at Tech Talk Radio, I guess.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So you got a new PC. Let me tell you what happened to mine, though.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you what happened to me.
All right, what happened to yours?
I've been learning that I use way too much things on one computer. Meaning, I use way too many browsers, way too many windows, way too many tabs, and way too many applications. Right.
Right. You're always pushing it to the limit.
So I've graduated from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes to, we'll get to Justin in a moment, 64 gigabytes, and now I'm at 128 gigabytes RAM.
On a laptop?
Yes.
How did you do that? How is that possible?
I scrambled around for parts. I've been making friends with shops that just have stuff laying around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And came across a workstation. Was able to get 128 gigabytes of RAM in there, and I'm thinking this is going to solve my problem, because I've actually had some jerking, some stuttering from me just trying to do stuff.
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's not
Come
your
on,
RAM.
get going.
What kind of hard drive you got?
Well, that's a good question. Thanks for asking that, Andy.
All right.
Here's where it gets interesting. So again, going the cheap route. So it's 128 gigabytes of RAM, 256 hard drive.
A 256, dude.
Wait for the punchline.
Yes, spinny.
So, for those who don't know, I love using Hibernate.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. All right.
Did not. I was not aware of this. I did not think it through. Yeah, apparently, if you're using 128 gigabytes of RAM, a 256 gigabyte hard drive is nowhere near enough to try to get into and out of Hibernate.
So yeah, I hate Hibernate. I know people use it. They say, "Oh, it helps conserve the power on your system."
Not even that. I'm on the run all the time. You know, I'm in meetings and I got to go. I don't have time to power down and shut down the app. Hibernate. I'm off. You know.
All right, but again, on your hard drive, we were thinking it's stuttering. You're getting problems. 128 gigs. Sometimes memory isn't the solution. A driver update, a hard drive update. I mean, I would probably update the hard drive before I went over 32 gigabytes of RAM.
I've played as far as the hardware goes. I played with Windows, and then you just guys like, well, maybe it's fine. And then I couldn't get Windows in, so I went to Linux, which I do truly love. And even Linux was like, hey, man, come on, cut it out. That's too much stuff. I don't have time for all this. I can't. I'm old. And I went, all right. So.
Wow. Now, what's the speed of the processor?
It's an i7.
Well, i7's pretty good. Now,
well, I would think. I'm wondering, if I have any more performance issues, I'm thinking, well, I guess maybe the only other thing is to step up to an i8 and above then.
I don't know.
There is no i8.
No, the i9.
The i9.
i7 and 9. Okay. But even still, I would say 256 gigabyte of a hard drive, I would probably go with a 1 terabyte because what you're gonna get now for SATA is it's gonna be a lot faster, and I bet you that might take care of some of that bottleneck that you're having. Hopefully. Okay. And then, have you done a BIOS update on the laptop?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yes, I did. I updated it. Yes, I did.
Yeah, that I kind of wonder of that, and even with the stuff that's running in the background, though, you can bring something to its knees when you're doing that, and that's kind of unfortunate, but that'll happen. I've seen, my one of my friends leaves stuff open on their desktop, and they had about 30 programs running.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean that's the ballpark I'm playing in,
man.
this is it's just because of my experience when I was working for Microsoft. I had 3 computers and I was able to do multiple things, and now I'm like, well, we should have hardware strong enough to handle this, but I guess not. Which now makes me wonder, okay, Justin, what did you get that I might want?
Oh, what he got. So we talked about how bad his system was, getting a system that was delivered and it had a hole in it.
Well, I'll kind of recap it real quick.
Wait, that was good airflow, Justin.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if it could turn on. No, I ordered a beefy computer for work, and I talked to my boss real quick, and I said, hey, look, man, I need something better than a Surface because I'm doing a lot of stuff. And he's like, the IT manager should have the best computer in the district. I'm like, okay, enough said. So I went to, Costco, and I found a really nice Asus ROG Strix. It was a 17-inch laptop.
Right.
Beautiful computer.
All right.
It had an i9 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, whatever, NVIDIA RTX card in it, all that stuff.
So what happened?
It came in a bag. Like one of those white Amazon bags that you get when you buy toothpaste.
How is the condition of it?
Yeah, so I opened that bag, and there was a giant hole in the box, and I'm like, oh, this ain't good. And I open up the box, and I look at the laptop, and the laptop is bowed.
Yeah.
And it's cracked on the back. It won't power on. The screen is split down the middle, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I mean, this is $2,200. We returned that to Costco because Costco takes back anything. Yeah. So what I ended up doing was I went to Amazon, and I found the 15.6 inch screen edition of the same laptop. And so I'll tell you the specs of this, and I ended up getting this. This was only $1,800. So it was actually cheaper than a 17-inch edition. And honestly, once I put that 17 on my lap, I was like, this is just too big.
Right.
Like, I don't need a 17-inch. So the 15.6 edition, I've got an i9 13th gen processor, running at, gosh, I want to say it's 4.9, 4.8, 4.9 gigahertz, whatever. I can't remember exactly how many cores. It's like 24 cores or something like that. I've got 64 gigs of RAM. I've got an NVIDIA RTX 3070 Ti in the thing, and the power supply is this massive brick that is 280 watts.
Whoa, really?
And, yeah,
Wow.
just for the power supply. If I play a game, I decided to install Diablo 4 on this computer. If I play the game without it being plugged in, the battery drains within less than an hour. Like, I'm talking about 100% down to zero, less than an hour. First off, the fans sound like a jet engine.
Right.
I mean, it's like in the background the whole time, right? But it's an amazing computer. This thing is lightning fast. Everything is amazing about this. So yeah, I gotta say, this is my favorite computer. Honestly, I just upgraded my desktop computer that I'm doing this show with right now, and I've got an AMD processor. I went AMD finally after all these years. I went AMD, and I love it. But I never use my desktop computer anymore because I'm never at home, and the desktop's in the basement. So honestly, my laptop is my workhorse. I do it for everything. I do it for work. I do it for personal. I do everything on it, and it's a great laptop.
And you got a pretty good deal on it, so that's good.
Like $1,800 on Amazon, yeah.
And what kind of warranty do you get with that? Is that the manufacturer's?
Yeah, manufacturer. Yeah, you don't get the nice Costco warranty with that one because we didn't go with Costco. But honestly, I would never go with Costco ever again for a computer unless you're going to buy it in store, because they say that they ship it directly from the manufacturer. They don't ship it from a Costco warehouse.
Yeah.
So if the manufacturers are throwing them these things in bags, like plastic bags, and shipping them to you, then no, I'm never going to buy a laptop from Costco again.
You might want to go in store for something like that anyways.
Well,
I've
yeah,
done
but
that.
I looked and you couldn't find this model. This model was only available online, which, obviously there's 1,000 models
Are
of
they,
computers.
so I'm wondering, Costco is not like Walmart, is it, where they actually allow third-party sellers to sell their products on their website? And then, of course, they take a percentage of that?
Well, they could be doing something kind of like that, because when I contacted Costco support, they mentioned that, yes, it does not come from a Costco warehouse. It comes directly from the manufacturer, but it's with a Costco price. So they're probably doing something similar to Amazon, where they guarantee a certain amount of price, but then they take a cut of it, or something like that.
Yeah, I've noticed that before. Sometimes if you're looking for a particular product, you go onto Walmart's website. You might see it and it'll say it'll take 3 days to deliver, or 4 days, not in store. And then you look at it, you go, this is being shipped by another party that's on their website. And just a way to hopefully get more
like
people
that
to shop on their, on their.
Yeah, Costco doesn't do it like third party, like it's, Joe Blow or whatever selling a product. No, they if they ship, it's going to come from the manufacturer itself.
All right.
So
You got another spin on that wheel?
I do. I'm spinning it right now. So next one we're going to talk about here is, no, we already talked about that one. Give me one. Hold on.
Here we go.
Justin went to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh
no.
Lord. Oh my.
Yeah.
Do you eat a drumstick leg or what?
A turkey leg?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, this last weekend, we went to the Renaissance Festival. It was the Colorado Renaissance Festival. I got to tell you, just real quick, I'll keep it short. But this is a really cool thing. So we left our house, and when we left, it's down in Larkspur, Colorado, which is about halfway between Denver and Colorado Springs.
Right.
And when we left our house, it said 52 minutes to arrival. No problem, right? That's about how long it takes, right? As we're driving, I'm watching the timer tick down, because as we get closer, obviously the time will go. It gets down to about 45 minutes. Then it just stays 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. And then it gets yellow. Then it gets red. And I'm like, what is going on? We're getting closer. Why is it saying? We get down to that area, and I-25, which is the major, interstate, is backed up for like 2 miles.
Oh, wow.
With cars. And I'm like, oh my God, this is worse than like a football game. Like, I mean, what the heck is going on? There's only one way in, one way out of Larkspur. Yeah. What was going on was we got in line finally, but what was going on is obviously they weren't open until 10 a.m. We were there at like 9:50, so all the cars were backed up.
Oh, yeah.
waiting to get in. And I'm like, okay, come on. First off, they got to do a better job than this. Like, let people at least park, or
Right.
whatever. Like, not backing up the entire interstate. We get in there. It is a fantastic looking, cool place. I mean, it's kind of in the forest. It's not like super foresty, but it's kind of in the forest. Everybody's in character. Everybody's like, huzzah! Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool, right?
Yeah.
But this place was designed for probably I'd say about 5,000 people was designed for. There was at least 10,000 people there. I mean, the entire time that we were there, it was constantly just, excuse me, excuse me, I'm just going to cut through. Oh, excuse me, I'm just, excuse me, the entire time. Like, it was standing room only everywhere you went. It was ridiculously busy. And also, it was ridiculously hot. I ordered a frozen margarita.
Yeah.
And by the time I turned around and walked 50 feet back to my table, it was liquid.
No meat available?
Now, oh no, we did have sausage on a stick.
Yeah.
Because
cooks
the
while
line
you
for the
walk.
turkey. Yeah, basically, yeah. Because the turkey legs were about 45-minute line,
Yeah.
and it was in the hot sun. So yeah, no, it was ridiculous. I mean, if I could do that thing again with half the people and half the temperature, I think it would be an amazing time. But it was fun. We did get to see an act that was from AGT, America's Got Talent.
Oh, nice.
And the guy was juggling fire, and the guy was like, at the end of it, he was like, "Hey, I need a strapping young lad to come up here. I'm gonna jump on your shoulders, and I'm gonna juggle fire on your shoulders." And he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, are you in shape?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, next." And he jumps over to somebody else who this guy looks just like me. And I'm like, wait a second, this guy's like 180 pounds, just like me. He looks just like me. He gets up there and he's like, "I got this." And the guy jumps on literally runs at him with his back turned, runs at him, jumps on his back, maneuvers his way around to the front. And he's like face to face with the guy. And he's like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
Oh, man.
And then he maneuvers his way onto his back,
Right.
again, with his legs over his shoulders. Then he stands up on this guy, and this guy is freaking out. Like, I mean, this guy could barely hold it. And he's like, "No, hold it." And the guy's like, struggling. And he does this juggle where he's juggling fire on this guy's shoulders. And
Wow.
I'm looking at this guy going, "Yep, that would have been a trip to the hospital for me right there."
That's great.
Yeah, but no, the Renaissance Festival is fun. If you guys ever get a chance to go to one, they're amazing. They're fun, but the one in Colorado needs a little work. It's been around for 50 years, but it needs a little work because there's so many people now that live in Colorado. They just haven't expanded their operation to support that many people all at once. It's just ridiculously busy.
All right.
I was asking you about like mead, like ale, like a drink. Did you get any of
Well,
that?
I did not get any mead. They did the mead line was like 45 minutes long, and I wasn't going to do that. So yeah, again, it was just like what I could get at that moment. Anyway, so real quick, one last one. We got one more spin
All
before
right.
we go to break.
All right.
I just spun it. We're going to talk about X.
Oh, we got to talk about X when we come back. Also, I've got something to tell you might want to check out if you've got a printer that is no longer printing. Back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy
Get a
Taylor.
new one.
Hi, Slick.
And I'm Justin. Let me get a new printer. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So what happens when you have an inkjet printer and it decides to no longer print anymore? And this is the thing. If you get it, so I love laser. I have laser printers in the home. I love them because you can use them, and maybe if you don't use them for a little while, you're okay. But if you don't use an inkjet printer, if you've got it, especially in the heat that we're having here, but if you don't use it for a while, what happens is the heads on them clog up. And you think, okay, I'll just go out and buy new ink, and that won't fix it. I found a product I just wanted to talk about real quickly. I'm going to put it through the paces this week. It's XC Inkjet, and what it is, it's a kit that will allow you to hook up a hose to your ink head. So you take the ink,
like a garden hose?
No, not a garden hose. Like
well, you didn't specify.
like a fire hose. No, like a rubber hose. Like
just go tap into the fire hydrant in the corner. That'll clear out the heads.
I'm already imagining how this can go so wrong.
But it has like a syringe, and it has a cleaner. You hook it up to the head of the printer where that ink cartridge is. You take those out, you put that in there. and then you give it a good, gentle cleaning. There's steps involved, but I'm going to give it a try and see if it works.
Instructions unclear. Now the fire department's coming.
$16 is what I found it for, and
That's
it was
not
either
bad.
that. I mean, yeah, you could throw out a printer. Printers are cheap now. You can find a printer for $60. That comes with new ink. You're generally going to get lower ink portions when you buy a printer off the shelf for a low price. But something to check out if you want to save your printer. All right.
And if you got an inkjet printer and you want to use that, I mean, obviously go for it. But I'm going to say right now, I love laser printers.
Me too.
Laser printers are great. I mean, I upgraded. I got a color laser printer. Now, yeah, the upfront cost is a lot more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer, and it doesn't care if you don't print for like 2 months.
How does that quality on that color come out on that color LaserJet? Because I've never seen the output.
Well, I actually bought one of those knockoff HP knockoff color replacements kits.
Oh, I got it.
Where you basically have to tap into the original chip, and you have to replace the chip onto the new one, and then put it in there. Yeah. That I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to save myself like $300 by getting this. The color sucks right now because these are knockoffs. So like, if you're going to do it, just swallow your pride and get the official color LaserJet cartridges, the toner cartridges. You're going to be much better off that way. But honestly, when you do print with a traditional like real, it looks amazing.
Can I give a little piece of advice? If that's the case, you're going to do it. Buy yourself a cheap, either LaserJet, grayscale, black and white, or even an inkjet, cheap, to have that for printing your basic text. So if you're basically printing just a letter, something like that, you save your color LaserJet for when you really want to get a good-looking job, maybe a flyer or something like that. But have a cheap one that you can print to, so you're not using up all that consumables.
With the color LaserJet, though, you do have the black one is a lot bigger than the colors. So because it expects you to be printing black more often than color. And if you do, as long as you tell it, like when you go to print, say, I want this in grayscale, it will only use the black. If you do say, well, it looks like it's black and white, but I'm going to print it as it is. Yeah, you're right. It might lose a little bit of that color, and it might, drain it out a little bit faster. But usually you get twice as much black as you do all the other inks in color.
Yeah.
All right. You spun the wheel. X is the new Twitter.
Go to x.com. Just go to x.com real quick and see what comes up.
X.com?
I swear to God, it's not a porn site.
Thank you. All right. X.
No, you go to x.com. Yeah, go.
Yeah,
check it out. What is it?
It's Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
What the heck?
Yeah,
wow.
They've rebranded. Now they've rebranded to x.com. So we're all sitting here pre-show. We're all sitting here talking. What's going on? What is he doing with this? Why is he doing this? Why is Elon Musk, who owns X or Twitter as we all know it,
right?
Why is he rebranding this? What is he doing? He's destroying this platform. My theory, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think is going on, but my theory is I think because Elon Musk has always been a proponent of not using social media. He understands that social media is bad, especially for children. I'm kind of curious, did he buy Twitter just to destroy it because he doesn't want people to use social media? Or did he buy it to form a new platform, which is that's what the media is reporting now, is he wants to create the U.S. version of WeChat. WeChat is in China, and China's WeChat is kind of like Twitter, but it's all in one. You can do everything from banking to video calls, voice calls, text messaging, social media, everything on one platform. What do you guys think?
I think he has a post about that. There was something I came across where he had made comments towards involving AI with Twitter or X and multimedia communication, just like you said. I mean, I had heard that. I don't remember exactly where I heard that. When I heard about X initially, I was confused. I was completely confused. And I kept thinking, why? But then I thought, all right, well, it does kind of tie into SpaceX. You must
Well,
be
he's
thinking-
obsessed with the letter X. He
Yeah.
is. He already said that. But the problem is Microsoft actually owns the patent on the letter X, which is crazy. How the heck can Microsoft own the patent on the letter X? I don't understand that.
And I've seen the artwork where others have said, wait a minute, that belongs to something else as well. So who knows how this is going to play out. We will have to have some more time to talk about that next week on the show. In the meantime, love to hear your thoughts. Are you on X? Are you on Threads? Where are you? Share with
please
us.
no.
Share with us your social media and how you use it. We'd love to know. You can email us, techguys@techtalkradio.com, or text us 520-777-9580. I'm Andy Taylor.
I am Slick.
And I am Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you.